Alex stared at his textbook, but the words weren't making any sense. His mind kept wandering to his roommate Maya, who was sitting across from him at their small study table. She had been acting strange for weeks now, always seeming to know exactly what he was thinking before he even said it. It started small at first. Alex would think about wanting pizza, and Maya would suddenly suggest ordering from their favorite place. When he mentally complained about their noisy neighbor, Maya would roll her eyes and mutter something about the guy upstairs being annoying. At first he thought it was just coincidence. After all, roommates often think alike, right? But tonight felt different. Tonight Maya kept glancing up from her psychology textbook with this knowing smile that made Alex's stomach do weird flips. He tried to focus on his economics homework, but his thoughts kept drifting to how pretty Maya looked when she concentrated. The way she tucked her hair behind her ear when she was thinking hard. Maya suddenly looked up and caught him staring. Instead of looking away embarrassed like most people would, she just smiled wider. That's when Alex knew something was definitely up. "Okay, what's going on?" Alex finally asked, closing his textbook with a thud. "You've been acting weird for weeks. It's like you know what I'm thinking all the time." Maya set down her pen and took a deep breath. She looked nervous for the first time since Alex had known her. They'd been roommates for almost a year now, and Maya was usually the confident one between them. "Promise me you won't freak out," Maya said quietly. Alex felt his heart rate pick up. That's never a good way to start a conversation. Maya laughed, but it sounded shaky. "Remember when we first met and I told you I was studying psychology because I wanted to understand how people's minds work?" "Yeah, so? Well, there's more to it than that." Maya stood up and started pacing around their tiny dorm room. "I've always been able to sense things about people, their feelings, their thoughts. But with most people, it's just glimpses, like catching pieces of a conversation from another room." Alex blinked. "Are you saying you're psychic or something?" "Not exactly psychic. More like, I can tune into people's thoughts sometimes. But Alex, with you it's different." Maya stopped pacing and looked directly at him. "With you it's like having a radio that's perfectly tuned to your frequency. I can hear your thoughts clearly, especially when they're strong or emotional." Alex felt his face turn red as he thought about all the times he'd had embarrassing thoughts around Maya. All those moments when he'd been thinking about her in ways that definitely weren't appropriate for roommates. "Oh no," Alex groaned, burying his face in his hands. "This is mortifying." "You've been hearing everything?" Maya sat down next to him on his bed. "Alex, look at me." He peeked through his fingers. "I'm not telling you this to embarrass you. I'm telling you because—" Maya paused, seeming to gather courage. "Because I like what I hear." Alex dropped his hands completely. "What?" "Your thoughts, Alex, they're not what you think they are. Yes, sometimes you think about me in ways that make me blush, but mostly your thoughts about me are sweet. You think about how I laugh at your jokes or how I always remember to buy your favorite snacks when I go to the store. You worry about me when I stay up too late studying. You think I'm smart and funny and kind?" Alex stared at her. "You're not grossed out by the other stuff?" Maya smiled. "The other stuff tells me you find me attractive. The sweet stuff tells me you care about me as a person. Both of those things make me happy." "But this is so weird," Alex said, running his hands through his hair. "How long have you been able to do this?" "Since I was little. My mom has the same ability but weaker. She taught me how to control it, how to tune it out when I need to. But Alex, I've never not wanted to tune someone out before." They sat in silence for a moment. Alex's mind was racing and he realized Maya could probably hear every confused thought bouncing around in his head. "This is going to take some getting used to," he said finally. "I know it's a lot. And I understand if this makes you uncomfortable. I can work on blocking you out more if you want. I didn't want to keep lying to you about why I always seem to know what you're thinking." Alex looked at Maya, really looked at her. She seemed vulnerable in a way he'd never seen before. This girl who always appeared so confident was worried that her biggest secret would drive him away. "Can you hear what I'm thinking right now?" he asked. Maya nodded. "Then you know I'm not going anywhere." Her face lit up with relief. "Really? Really? Though I have to ask, is this why you always know when I'm about to say something stupid and you give me that look?" Maya laughed, guilty. "I've saved you from so many embarrassing moments." "Okay, but I need to know the rules here. Can you control it? Can you turn it off?" "I can tone it down, but not completely turn it off. It's strongest when your emotions are intense or when you're thinking directly about me. Random thoughts throughout the day are quieter. Alex nodded slowly. And you've never told anyone else about this? Only my mom knows. You're the first person I've ever told about being able to read clearly. Why me? Maya looked down at her hands. Because you're the first person whose thoughts I actually wanted to hear. Most people think things they don't really mean, or their thoughts are chaotic and mean. But your thoughts, Alex, they're genuine. Even the embarrassing ones are sweet in their own way. Alex felt something shift between them. This wasn't just about Maya having unusual abilities. This was about trust. About Maya choosing to be completely honest with him when she could have kept her secret forever. So what happens now? Alex asked. Now we figure it out together if you're willing. Alex reached over and took Maya's hand. As soon as their skin touched, Maya's eyes widened slightly. What? Alex asked. Maya smiled softly. You're thinking that this might actually be the beginning of something amazing. Alex squeezed her hand. Well, you're not wrong. For the first time in weeks, Maya looked completely relaxed. And for the first time ever, Alex didn't mind that someone could read his thoughts. Because finally someone understood exactly how he felt. The next morning, Alex woke up with a weird mix of excitement and nervousness. Last night's conversation with Maya felt like a dream, but the way she smiled at him over breakfast confirmed it was all real. She was buttering her toast when she suddenly started laughing. What's so funny? Alex asked, though he had a feeling he already knew. You're wondering if I can hear you thinking about how cute I look when I'm concentrating on something as simple as making toast, Maya said, not looking up from her breakfast. Alex nearly choked on his orange juice. Okay, that's going to take some getting used to. Sorry, I'm still learning how to act normal about this. I've been keeping this secret for so long that actually talking about it feels strange. They walked to campus together, and Alex found himself constantly aware of his thoughts. Every time his mind wandered to something embarrassing, he'd glance at Maya to see if she was reacting. It was exhausting. You're going to give yourself a headache if you keep trying to control every thought, Maya said as they sat down in their morning lecture hall. How can I not? Knowing you can hear everything makes me feel like I'm performing all the time. Maya leaned closer to whisper. Alex, I've been hearing your thoughts for months. If I was going to judge you for them, I would have done it already. Just be yourself. Professor Chen walked in and started setting up his presentation. Alex tried to focus on the lesson about market economics, but his mind kept drifting. He found himself thinking about Maya's hand resting on the desk between them, wondering what would happen if he reached over and held it. Maya's fingers twitched slightly, and Alex realized she was fighting the urge to take his hand too. Can you hear what I'm thinking right now? Alex thought as clearly as he could, staring straight ahead at the professor. Maya picked up her pen and wrote on the corner of her notebook. Yes. Are you testing me? Alex grinned and thought back. Maybe. This is pretty cool, actually. Maya wrote, better than passing notes in high school. Can you respond with your thoughts, or do I just get to broadcast to you? Alex wondered. Maya shook her head and scribbled, I can't send thoughts back. I can only receive them. It's like having really good hearing, not like having a phone conversation. The professor droned on about supply and demand curves, but Alex was fascinated by this new discovery. He started thinking random things just to see Maya's reactions. When he thought about their grumpy neighbor's terrible music, Maya rolled her eyes. When he wondered what Maya had eaten for breakfast yesterday, she wrote pancakes on her notebook. When he thought about how boring this lecture was, she had to cover her mouth to keep from laughing. This is amazing, he thought. It's like having a secret conversation no one else can hear. Maya looked at him with sparkling eyes and nodded. After class, they walked to the campus coffee shop. Alex was feeling more comfortable with the whole situation, but he still had questions. So what's it like? He asked as they found a quiet corner table. Hearing people's thoughts, I mean. Maya stirred her coffee thoughtfully. It's different with everyone. Most people's thoughts are like background noise, easy to ignore unless I really focus. Some people think in pictures, some in words, some in feelings. Kids think in colors and sounds more than adults do. What about me? You think in full sentences very clearly. And you're honest, even in your thoughts. Most people lie to themselves all the time, but your internal voice matches what you say out loud. Alex felt his cheeks warm. Even the embarrassing thoughts? Especially those. You don't try to prettify your thoughts or make them more acceptable. When you think I'm beautiful, you really mean it. When you're worried about something, you don't downplay it in your mind. It's refreshing. A group of students at the next table were talking loudly about weekend plans. Maya suddenly looked uncomfortable. "What's wrong?" Alex asked. "Sometimes it's hard to tune out everyone else when I'm focusing on one person. That guy over there is thinking some pretty unpleasant things about the girl he's talking to." Alex looked over at the group. The guy seemed charming and friendly on the surface, but Maya could see what was really going on in his head. That must be awful sometimes, knowing what people are really thinking. It's why I don't date much. It's hard to trust someone when you can hear them thinking about other people while they're talking to you. Is that why you told me? Because my thoughts don't bother you? Maya reached across the table and took his hand. "I told you because your thoughts made me fall for you before we ever had a real conversation about our feelings." Alex squeezed her hand. "Can you hear what I'm thinking now? That you're falling for me too, and that you're wondering if this makes us officially more than roommates. Am I that obvious?" "Only to me," Maya smiled. "And yes, I think we're definitely more than roommates now." They spent the rest of the afternoon experimenting with their unique form of communication. Alex would think questions and Maya would answer out loud. He discovered that strong emotions made his thoughts louder to her, and that when he was really focused on something else, she could barely hear him at all. It's like having a volume control that you operate without realizing it. Maya explained as they walked back to their dorm. "Do you want me to try to think quieter?" Alex asked. "So you can have some peace?" Maya stopped walking and turned to face him. "Alex, I've spent most of my life trying to block out other people's thoughts. With you, I don't want to. Your mind is a place I actually enjoy spending time in." That evening, as they studied together in their room, Alex found himself completely relaxed for the first time since learning Maya's secret. He let his thoughts flow naturally, not worrying about what she might hear. And when Maya looked up from her textbook and smiled at him for no apparent reason, Alex realized she had just heard him thinking about how lucky he felt to have her in his life. 3 weeks had passed since Maya revealed her secret, and Alex thought they had found their rhythm. But walking into their psychology class that Tuesday morning, something felt different. Other students were looking at Maya with curious expressions, and there was an odd energy in the room. "Did something happen?" Alex whispered as they took their seats. Maya looked uncomfortable. "I think people are starting to notice things." Before Alex could ask what she meant, their friend Riley slid into the seat next to Maya with an excited expression. "Maya, you have to help me," Riley said in a hushed voice. "Everyone's talking about how you always know exactly what people are thinking. Like, remember last week when you told Jessica not to trust that guy from her study group, and then it turned out he was just using her to get homework answers?" Maya shifted uncomfortably in her chair. "I just had a bad feeling about him." "And what about when you warned Kevin that his girlfriend was planning to break up with him? How did you know that?" Alex felt Maya tense beside him. He could see she was struggling with how to respond without revealing the truth. "Sometimes you can just tell by reading body language and listening to what people don't say," Maya said carefully. Riley leaned closer. "But it's more than that, isn't it? You're like really good at reading people. Some of the girls in our dorm think you might be psychic or something." Alex watched Maya's face go pale. This was exactly what she had been afraid of. The more she helped people by using her ability, the more attention she drew to herself. Professor Williams walked in and started the lecture, but Alex couldn't focus. He kept thinking about how to protect Maya from the growing curiosity about her unusual insights. Maya glanced at him gratefully, clearly hearing his concerned thoughts. After class, things got worse. A small group of students surrounded Maya as they tried to leave. "Maya, can you tell what I'm thinking right now?" asked Danny, a guy from their dorm who Alex had never liked. "I'm not a mind reader," Maya said, trying to push through the group. "Come on, just try," insisted another student. "Everyone says you have some kind of gift." Alex stepped closer to Maya. She already said no. Back off. But the attention was just beginning. Over the next few days, more and more students started approaching Maya, asking for her help with everything from relationship advice to test predictions. Word had spread that Maya Chen was the girl who could somehow know what people were really thinking. Maya started avoiding the dining hall and common areas, spending most of her time in their room. Alex watched her become more withdrawn and stressed with each passing day. "I should have been more careful," Maya said one evening as they sat on her bed. "I've been using my ability to help people without thinking about the consequences." "You were just being kind," Alex said. "That's not something you should regret." But now everyone thinks I'm some kind of fortune teller or psychic. I had 3 different people ask me to predict their future today, and that's not even the worst part. What's the worst part? Maya looked genuinely scared. Professor Williams asked me to stay after class yesterday. He wants to talk to me about participating in some kind of research study about intuitive psychology students. Alex felt his stomach drop. What did you tell him? I said I'd think about it. But Alex, what if he's suspicious? What if he knows there's something different about me? Even if he does, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. But their problems were just getting started. The next day, Alex was walking to his economics class when he overheard 2 students talking about Maya. I heard she can literally read minds, one said. My roommate's cousin goes here and she says Maya knew things about her that she'd never told anyone. That's impossible, the other replied. But there's definitely something weird about her. She always knows exactly what to say to people. Alex felt anger rising in his chest. These people didn't know Maya at all, but they were treating her like some kind of circus act. When he got back to their room, he found Maya sitting at her desk, staring blankly at her textbook. I can't concentrate, she said without looking up. Every time I leave this room, I can hear what people are thinking about me. Half of them want to use me to solve their problems and the other half think I'm a freak. Alex sat down beside her. What can I do to help? I don't know. I've been thinking about transferring to another school, starting over somewhere where no one knows about my reputation. The thought of Maya leaving made Alex's heart race with panic. You can't leave. This is your home too. Maya finally looked at him. Alex, it's only going to get worse. And what happens when Professor Williams starts digging deeper? What if he wants to bring in other researchers? I could end up as some kind of lab experiment. Alex had been thinking the same thing, but hearing Maya say it out loud made it feel more real and more terrifying. We'll figure something out, he said, taking her hand. Maybe you could just tell people you've been studying psychology techniques for reading body language. Make it seem less mysterious. I tried that. They don't believe me. And honestly, I'm making mistakes because I'm stressed. Yesterday, I responded to someone's thought instead of what they actually said out loud. A few more slip-ups like that and people will know for sure that something unusual is going on. That night, Alex lay awake thinking about their situation. Maya was quiet beside him, but he knew she wasn't sleeping either. They had gone from the excitement of sharing her secret to the fear of having it exposed in just a few weeks. The next morning brought even worse news. Riley burst into their room without knocking. Maya, you need to see this, Riley said, holding up her phone. Someone posted about you on the campus social media page. Alex read over Maya's shoulder. The post was titled, Mind Reader or Just Really Good Guesser, and detailed several instances of Maya's unusual insights. Dozens of students had commented with their own stories about times Maya had seemed to know more than she should. Maya sank into her chair. This is exactly what I was afraid of. Maybe it'll blow over, Alex said, but even he didn't believe it. No, it won't, Maya said quietly. Because the stories are true and more people are going to notice, and eventually someone's going to want to prove it scientifically. Alex realized that their peaceful period of learning to navigate Maya's ability together was over. Now they faced a much bigger challenge, protecting Maya's secret from a world that was increasingly curious about her unusual gift. And Alex was determined to find a way to keep her safe, even if it meant making some difficult choices about their future together. The campus social media post about Maya had been up for 3 days, and things were spiraling out of control. Alex watched from their dorm window as a small group of students gathered outside their building, clearly hoping to catch a glimpse of the girl everyone was calling the mind reader. This is getting ridiculous, Alex muttered, closing the curtains. Maya was sitting on her bed, knees pulled up to her chest. She hadn't left their room in 2 days except to use the bathroom down the hall, and even then, Alex had to check if the coast was clear first. I can't live like this, Maya said quietly. I can hear them all thinking about me even from up here. They want to test me, study me, use me. Some of them think I'm fascinating. Others think I'm dangerous. Alex's phone buzzed with a text from Riley. Professor Williams is looking for Maya. Says it's urgent. We need to talk about what we're going to do, Alex said, sitting down beside Maya. Professor Williams is asking about you again. Maya closed her eyes. I already know what he wants. I heard his thoughts yesterday when I passed him in the hallway. He's not just curious about my psychology insights anymore. He thinks I might have some kind of genuine psychic ability, and he wants to bring in researchers from the university's neuroscience department. What did his thoughts tell you exactly? He's planning to approach the dean about setting up controlled experiments. He wants to see if I can demonstrate my abilities under laboratory conditions. Alex, they want to hook me up to machines and study my brain while I use my gift. The thought of Maya being treated like a lab rat made Alex feel sick. You'll just say no, and then what? He's not going to just drop it. Neither will the other students. This attention isn't going away, Alex. If anything, it's getting worse. As if to prove her point, someone knocked loudly on their door.
Maya, are you in there?
We just want to ask you a few questions. Alex and Maya froze. The voice didn't belong to anyone they recognized. Maya Chen? My name is Dr. Patricia Hayes. I'm a researcher from the psychology department at the State University. I'd love to talk to you about your remarkable abilities. Alex felt his heart stop. Word about Maya had spread beyond their campus. I'm not here to cause you any trouble. The voice continued through the door. I'm simply interested in understanding how your mind works. There could be amazing opportunities for you if you'd be willing to participate in some research studies. Maya grabbed Alex's arm. She's thinking about grant money and publishing papers. She sees me as her ticket to academic fame. They sat in silence until they heard footsteps walking away, but Alex knew this was just the beginning. We need to leave, Maya said suddenly. Not just the dorm, not just the campus. We need to disappear. Maya, you can't run away from this forever. Watch me. Maya stood up and started pulling clothes out of her closet. I should have left the moment people started noticing. Now it's going to be 10 times harder to vanish. Alex watched her pack with growing panic. Where would you go? I don't know. Maybe back home to my mom. Maybe somewhere completely new where no one knows me. What about school? What about your degree? What about us? Maya stopped packing and looked at him with tears in her eyes. Alex, there is no us anymore. Don't you see? As long as I'm here, you're going to get dragged into this mess. People are already asking questions about you too, about how much you know. I don't care about that. Well, I do. You have a life here, a future. I won't let my problems destroy that. Alex felt desperation rising in his chest. Maya, please. We can figure this out together. Maybe we can talk to Professor Williams, tell him you're not interested in being studied. He won't stop, Alex, none of them will. And the more I refuse, the more suspicious they'll become. Eventually, they'll find a way to force me to prove what I can do. Maya's phone buzzed. She looked at it and went even paler. What is it? Text from my mom. She says someone called the house asking about me. A journalist who heard about the psychic college student and wants to write an article. Alex sank onto his bed. This was worse than either of them had imagined. I have to leave tonight, Maya said, zipping up her suitcase. Before this gets any bigger. Maya, wait. Let me come with you. She looked at him like he'd lost his mind. Alex, you can't just drop out of school and run away with me. You have finals in 2 weeks. You have a life here. My life is with you. Maya walked over and cupped his face in her hands. Alex, I can hear what you're thinking right now. You're thinking that you'd give up everything for me. But I can also hear the part of you that's terrified about throwing away your future. Alex realized she was right. As much as he wanted to be brave and romantic, part of him was scared about what leaving would mean for his education, his career, his family's expectations. I knew it, Maya said sadly. And that's okay, Alex, that's normal. You shouldn't have to choose between love and having a life. So that's it? You're just going to disappear? Maya kissed him gently. I'm going to protect both of us the only way I know how. 2 hours later, Alex watched from their window as Maya got into a taxi with her 2 suitcases. She didn't look back at the dorm building, and Alex wondered if he'd ever see her again. The next morning, Professor Williams knocked on their door. When Alex answered, the professor looked confused. Is Maya here? I really need to speak with her about an exciting opportunity. She's gone, Alex said simply. Gone? Where? I don't know. Professor Williams studied Alex's face. This is very unfortunate. Maya has a remarkable gift that could benefit science and help us understand the human mind better. After the professor left, Alex sat alone in their room, surrounded by the empty spaces where Maya's things used to be. For the first time in months, his thoughts were completely private. But instead of feeling relieved, he just felt lost. 2 months passed without any word from Maya. Alex threw himself into his studies, trying to distract himself from the empty feeling in his chest. Their room felt too quiet now, too lonely. He'd catch himself thinking things he wanted to share with Maya, forgetting for a moment that she couldn't hear him anymore. Finals week came and went. Alex did well enough, but his heart wasn't in it. Other students occasionally asked him about Maya, where she'd gone, but the questions became less frequent as the semester ended, and people moved on to other campus gossip. Alex was packing up his things to go home for summer break when his phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Alex? It's me. His heart nearly stopped. Maya, where are you? Are you okay? I'm okay. I'm back home with my mom. Alex, I'm so sorry I left like that. I've been wanting to call you every day, but I thought it would be better if I just disappeared completely. Better for who? I've been worried sick about you. I know. My mom finally convinced me to call. She says running away from the people who care about you isn't the same as running away from your problems. Alex sat down heavily on his bed. Are you safe? Did anyone follow you or try to find you? No one knows where I am. The whole thing at school died down after I left. Apparently, without me there to demonstrate anything unusual, people started thinking the stories about me were exaggerated. What have you been doing? Maya's voice sounded tired. Thinking. A lot of thinking. My mom and I have been talking about my ability and how to handle it better. She went through something similar when she was younger, before she learned to control it. And what did you figure out? That I can't spend my whole life hiding from what I am. But I also can't be careless about it the way I was at school. Alex felt a flicker of hope. Does that mean you're coming back? There was a long pause. Alex, I want to see you. But not at school. Can you meet me halfway? There's something I need to tell you in person. 3 days later, Alex drove to a small town about 2 hours from campus. Maya had given him the address of a quiet diner where they could talk privately. When he walked in and saw her sitting in a corner booth, his heart did the same flip it had always done. She looked different, somehow more settled, like she'd found some kind of peace in the time they'd been apart. Hi, Alex said, sliding into the seat across from her. Hi. Maya smiled, but she seemed nervous. Thank you for coming. Maya, I've missed you so much. These past 2 months have been horrible. I've missed you too. More than you know. Maya reached across the table and took his hand. Alex, I can hear what you're thinking right now. Alex blinked in surprise. He'd been so focused on seeing her again that he hadn't even noticed his thoughts were being heard. You're wondering if I came back for you. And you're scared that I'm going to disappear again. Alex nodded. Both of those things are true. I'm not going to disappear again. But I'm not going back to our old school either. Alex felt his heart sink. So where does that leave us? Maya squeezed his hand. I've been accepted to a school 3 hours away from here. Small campus. Quiet, where I can finish my degree without drawing attention to myself. My mom knows some people there who can help me if I ever need it. That's great for you, but what about us? That depends on what you want, Alex. I know you have 1 more year left at your school. Alex had been thinking about this for weeks. I've already looked into transferring. There's a good economics program at the state school near where you're going. Maya's eyes widened. Alex, you don't have to do that for me. I'm not doing it just for you. I'm doing it for us. Maya, these past 2 months without you made me realize something. I don't just want to be with you despite your ability. I want to be with you because of everything you are, including your gift. Even knowing how complicated it makes everything. Especially knowing that. Maya, what you can do is amazing. Yes, it's challenging, and yes, we'll have to be careful. But I don't want a normal relationship with someone else. I want our weird, complicated, extraordinary relationship. Maya started crying, and Alex could see the relief on her face. I was so scared you'd realize you were better off without me and all the drama I bring, she said. Never. Maya, you're the most genuine person I've ever known. Your gift doesn't make you a freak or a lab rat. It makes you special. Maya wiped her eyes. My mom wants to meet you. She says anyone who can handle dating a mind reader deserves her approval. Alex laughed. I'd love to meet her. Does she give relationship advice using telepathy? Sometimes. She's been coaching me on how to set better boundaries, how to control when I listen and when I tune out. I'm getting better at it. What does that mean for us? It means I can give you privacy when you need it, but I can also be completely open with you in ways that other couples never can be. We just have to figure out the rules together. They spent the next 3 hours talking about everything that had happened since Maya left. Alex told her about how empty school had felt without her, how he'd realized that all his future plans somehow included her in them. Maya told him about the work she'd been doing with her mom, learning to see her ability as a gift rather than a burden. "So what happens now?" Alex asked as they prepared to leave the diner. "Now I start my new school in the fall, and hopefully you'll be starting there too. We take things slow, we're careful about my secret, and we build something real together." "Just the two of us against the world?" Maya smiled. "Just the two of us with the most honest communication any couple has ever had." As they walked to their cars, Alex felt lighter than he had in months. Maya suddenly stopped and turned to him. "Alex, I can hear what you're thinking right now." "What am I thinking?" "You're thinking that you love me and you're wondering if it's too soon to say it out loud." Alex felt his cheeks turn red. "You're right on both counts." Maya stood on her tiptoes and kissed him. "I love you too, Alex. I've been hearing it in your thoughts for months, but it's nice to finally say it." "So we're really doing this? Starting over somewhere new together?" "We're doing this. But Alex, this time we're going to be smarter about it. No more using my gift to help random people. No more drawing attention to myself. Just you and me and our strange, wonderful secret." As Alex drove home that evening, he couldn't stop smiling. For the first time since Maya had left, he felt like everything was going to be okay. They had a plan, they had each other, and they had something that no other couple in the world had: the ability to truly know what the other person was thinking. And honestly, Alex couldn't wait to see where that would take them.